Hi there, most welcome to Fans Zone, and it's the 29th of October, a very historic day for the Ghana Olympic Committee because it's for the first time they'll be having a democratic election to elect executives of the executive board as well as the president of the Olympic governing body. I have to take you back, way back 2009, June 30th was the day when the GOC had their Congress, but there were some disagreements over delegate lists, who were supposed to be there, who were not supposed to be there. Later on, the International Olympic Committee actually banned Ghana for not amending our national law to conform to the Olympic Charter. Simply, they wanted democratic leaderships at all the federation levels and also at the level of the Ghana Olympic Committee. Now, today is a day that the IOC set for a substantive Congress of the Ghana Olympic Committee. Already there's been some skirmishes again about the delegate list, but as you can see right behind me, Mr. B.T. Baba is now doing official roll call to tell us who and who are actually here, who and who have the power to be delegates at this Congress. Now, after this commercial break, we'll get to show you the earlier things that happened before we got to this stage. We'll be right back. Most welcome back to Fan Zone, a very exciting edition of this program because we're talking about the destiny of Ghana sports. We're going to be having the Congress, but earlier on we saw some scenes at the Mecklin Hotel in East Legon, to be precise, outside and inside. Inside, you could see Mr. B.T. Baba and then Mr. Dean Berima. He's the representing the president of the various sports federations, arguing about the delegate list. And then the IOC representative here, Mr. Zhao, who is from Angola, had to intervene. And then eventually Mr. Baba asked that Mr. Dean Berima, the first who represent the association, should apologize for bringing their list a little bit late. That was agreed upon, so we are at the stage where we're actually doing the roll call. But let's catch the scenes earlier.
I didn't accept it. I didn't accept it. I'm a man of honor, and I didn't accept it. Yes.
You, man of honor?
Yes. That's why I've served for 39 years without blemish in the security services. Man of honor.
Hello, Lee.
And that's why when I say I am not doing this, I won't do it. We don't accept this list because the list did not come the way
we don't accept your list. This is national federations, national sports federations. This is the list. This is letters written by them. National sports federations are under the IOC directions. That national sports nominated. This is their letter.
You should bring. You should.
Where is your letters? Where are your letters?
IOC did not say that you should bring it.
Where are your letters?
I said IOC did not ask.
Where are your letters? The national federations are written to us.
Did the IOC ask you to bring the letter?
No.
Did the IOC ask you to bring the letter? You should answer that one. That you should collect the letters and bring them. Or it asks the national federations to bring their letters.
Mr. Baba, your tricks. Your tricks are at an end.
No, there is nothing like an end.
Please.
There is nothing like an end.
Please, Baba. Your tricks come to an end.
I thought you were staying in Britain would have been
don't
a very
give me that shit.
intelligent person to know how
Don't
to
give me that shit.
Your choice of words have always been condemned by everybody.
Okay, you finish?
Yes, I've finished my
Okay. You finish? Okay, now I propose. Call all President, National Federation, come here.
They are here. Okay.
All President, only President.
Lord?
Only President. President. You are respect your statute and holy picture.
So the roll call has been done, and we're just about wrapping up with that process. And after that, of course, there'll be a big election to decide whether we go with the nomination forms that has been done already, or whether fresh nominees will be made on the floor of Congress. And I have with me Ni Adotedin Berima the First. He is the chairman of the Committee of Presidents of Sports Associations. We want to take his views on how things have transpired so far. Well, Ni, we seem not to have gone so far from what happened in 2009. There's still issues over who are delegates and who are not.
Yes, but I think the observer from the IOC/ANOCA has played a very important role in trying to sanitize this whole confusion. And so far, the list of delegates from Olympic sports, non-Olympic sports have been agreed. There's going to be a roll call. Those delegates will go into the hall, and thereafter there will be a General Assembly. And the General Assembly will decide on the third list, which is the Executive Board list to be presented by the BT Baba group, and also certain sports associations that Mr. BT Baba is questioning. So once the General Assembly decides on those modalities, it will also decide whether the nominations, that the forms that people feel should be accepted, or whether nominations should be opened afresh and taken from the floor of Congress. So this is the procedure that is going to happen from now.
People who are watching will be surprised at the confusion, on the floor. Could it not have been resolved a day or two before Congress?
It could have been resolved. In fact, I can now understand the suspicion and mistrust that has characterized the relationship between Mr. BT Baba and the National Sports Federations, because it is difficult to hold him to his word. And already I have seen a situation where he has reneged on a whole lot of principles that we had agreed already through the mediation efforts of Nana Fitz. And I'm really, really surprised. So it is quite inevitable that where you have such a situation where there is mistrust and suspicion, confusion is the order of the day. But Jose Manuel, the IOC/ANOCA representative, has done extremely well in establishing the principles and ensuring that we operate in accordance with those principles. So this is why we have come this far. It seems a little bit confusing, but at the end of the day, some sanity is prevailing.
Be surprised that we're still having questions over delegate lists. Could it not have been resolved a day or two prior to the Congress?
Exactly, that's what the GOC wanted to be done. That was the reason why they said they should submit their constitutions and the minutes of the elections that they held recently, so that when the list even comes from the IOC, you can compare and see exactly who the executives are. Letters have been written over to the various federations, submit your candidate, to make this exercise a less painful one. We have to go through all these motions, and I believe it's a complete waste of time. But at the end of the day, we have all been reasonable, now compiling the delegates list so that we can go back on the floor to deal with the agenda for the Congress. It's as simple as that.
The delegates talked about a probable vote on the actual process. That's the nominations for the positions, whether they will adopt the first one or...
This is an annual general meeting, and there's a procedure to follow, Information has been sent out. You are supposed to file your nominations. This is not a place to reopen nominations. Yes, this is not a place to reopen nominations because it will be completely out of order. rules must be followed, regulations must be followed. So if you come, irrespective of whether you are a member of an association, an invitation has been sent to you for Congress, certain requirements have been demanded, and you haven't complied with it, this is not a place for you to come and do that. And we will insist that it's not done.
Are you expecting a smooth Congress?
I'm expecting a smooth Congress so long as we stick to the agenda. That's why we are here. Before you have meetings like that, you send agenda. If a member wants an amendment of the agenda, he ought to follow the procedure. It's pure corporate practice.
Was this agenda sent out before today?
Long ago, 7th of October, it was sent. So a member, if you're a true member, follow the procedure. You have sent this agenda, I want this agenda added on. You follow, that's what the company law says anyway. And you don't forget that the Ghana Olympic Committee is a company limited by guarantee. We are also governed by the laws of Ghana with regard to regulations of companies.
First, Prof, I'm not surprised we're still talking about delegate lists at this stage.
Well, you were there, you saw what happened. What can I say?
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. We've dealt with this for the last 2.5 years, so I'm not surprised at all.
In this case, nobody's running away. Nobody is trying to adjourn Congress. Is that a difference?
Well, Congress actually hasn't started now, so we're going to start Congress now, and so we'll see whether anybody tries to adjourn Congress. But this Congress has to end. I mean, Ghana sports has suffered 2.5 years is too long, and it's time that we fix whatever needs to be fixed and move on and try and rebuild sports in Ghana.
Are you standing?
It's time we have to try to rebuild sports in Ghana. That was your question, right?
Which means you're standing for the president to be president.
Oh, I saw something in the Daily Graphic, but it had a question mark against it. It said there were 3 pictures in there, and it had a question mark about whether any of these people were going to stand. Yeah.
Are you standing?
Are you going to be there?
Baba is using some old lists which he has. But as at 23rd of October, the IOC released a list which included my name as National Vice President of Ghana. Yes. So if you want to use falsehood to enfranchise somebody, I think it's wrong. And I have to fight back.
So you've now been confirmed?
Yes.
Why do you think that happened to you in particular?
Oh, it's not me alone. I think the others, what they were doing was that they were saying the presidents and the general secretaries. But general secretaries are government appointed. They are workers of government. And they are not members of the federation, our federations, you see. They were not elected. They were appointed by government to assist us. It's as a liaison officer between government and the associations. And therefore, they are not members of the association. And therefore, they can't be delegates over here. You get me? So if you put his name over there, on what basis do you put the name over there? They were not elected. It's government appointees, paid by government. So why should they come in? See? Yes. You got me? Yeah.
Saying that these are issues that are missing. You let them start General Assembly. They will sort it out. No.
You cannot walk me out. Yes, sir, walk me out. Why were you elected? Why were you elected? Put the big at it. If you don't know, don't talk what you don't know. Who are you? Step on the quiz.
Invite the Electoral Commission to take over the proceedings of this General Assembly. Thank you very much.
your constitution is going to form the broad framework within which we will conduct the elections. And we will be dealing with the relevant aspects of the constitution to these elections.
No. Which federation? Which federation? Ask which federation. Which federation do they belong to? Let them come and show you the federation. Tell them their federations. Monsieur Kojo. C'est qui? Suis-moi. C'est qui? Il est où? Il est là. Il est ici.
Est-ce que vous voulez qu'il vienne?
Oui.
Mr. Kojo Edwasare. He said, is it you who sent your letter or is the federation that sent your letter? To the Olympic Committee.
It was endorsed by my federation.
What?
I don't know the copy.
He said what?
He said who sent it? Please, let me answer my question. Please, we've been quiet and watch. It's not as if some of us can't talk.
Please. Let's agree on this. Please. Nobody says votre fédération a envoyé la lettre au comité olympique.
Is it your federation that sent your letter to the Olympic Committee?
Do you have the copy of this letter?
Do you have a copy of this letter?
No, I didn't bring it here.
Okay.
Because I was not necessary.
Do you have the copy? Give me the copy.
IOC.
On the paper.
Why are you running away from
On the paper. On the paper, annuler the candidature.
Are you forgetting that IOC that can answer that? Bien, ça c'est bien. Mais la date
vous voulez annuler ça? Oui, vous voulez annuler ça?
Do you want to cancel? No.
Yes. No. Yes.